Yeah, whatever doubts you'll have, you can type in. Tanvir, you can just type in your query, no problem. I will check. All right, so this was about calculated fields. Now we will focus on show data as option. Okay. So for that, I will create another pivot table. I'll go back to my copy chain data and go up to the table ribbon and click on summarize with pivot table. A new one I'm creating. Let's change this. Show data as option is what we are going to explore over here. All right. As we always do, let's simply increase the size of the table, and this maybe just 18 I will keep. And we can give a name to the table, right? We know that we can go ahead here and give a name to the table. We're going to look at the built-in calculations which are available while working with pivot tables. Avinash, I will share with you afterwards, okay? Anyway, you are attending Tableau training also, right, Avinash? I will give you there. All right. So we'll come here. So the next thing I would like to talk about is certain inbuilt calculations which are there in Excel. Like, for example, if you have to compute percentages, you don't have to sit and write a formula or create a calculated field for it, because there are some inbuilt calculations which we can use. So let me design the table. I will take product into the rows shelf, and I will take territory into the columns. Okay. So this business is active across multiple territories like South, East, and West and Central. And these are the different products. Or let me do one thing. Instead of product, I think I will take product type, because some products are not sold in some territories. It might not be very clear. The concepts may be a little confusing. All right, let's keep the table simple to understand this particular information. What I would like to show here is sales. So look at the structure of my table. I have sales data across different regions and across different product types over here. Okay. And we can see that tea is not being sold in South region. South of US, southern region of US, tea related items are not being sold. That is why we don't have any data. South and tea. If you want, you can go back to your data and cross check. So the region, I said the territory is South. Okay. So that is one filter. Then the product is, let's not select all, is tea. Where is tea? See, under South, tea is not even there in the list. Okay. Anything related to tea is not in the list. We have herbal tea. Lemon comes under herbal tea, but we don't have tea products. All right. That is why it is 0, because it does not exist. All right. Let's go ahead and select everything now. Now I will show you this option. Now my requirement is, anyway, you are all familiar with grand totals, isn't it? So what is this grand total indicating? It is indicating the total sales from central region, from coffee. The total sales of coffee. This number here is the total sales of espresso. This figure here is the total sales of herbal tea, and this is tea. And when you go column wise, what is this grand total indicating? The column grand total. Total sales of the central region, total sales from East, total sales from South, and total sales of West. Okay. And what is this final number indicating? The overall sales made by the business. Just a moment, please. Yeah, sorry about that. Right. So I hope you all understood the difference here. These are the individual sales from that for that product from that region. Okay, this cell indicates the sales of espresso from East, this particular cell. But these are the regional totals. So I will call it regional totals. Okay, it will be more easy to understand. These are the regional totals, the horizontal ones. Oh, it changed here also. All right. Because I think all the grand totals have a common header. So we'll just leave it as totals then. Both of them are totals. And these are the product totals. And this is the overall total made by the business, overall total sales from the business. Okay, let's all right. So I'll keep it like this. Now, what if I might want to show this data as percentages rather than showing the actual numbers? If I might want to show the percentages, it's very simple. I will right click in the cell and go to this option, show values as, and here we can show it as a percent of grand total if we want. We can show it as a percent of column total or a percent of row total. Let's go with percent of column total now. Initially, I will show you this. So when I say percent of column total, you will notice how each column is summing up to be 100%. Means, for a moment, let us just forget that we have data for East and South and West. Forget it. What if I am focusing only on central region? Okay, if I were focusing only on central region, if I consider the performance of central region to be 100%, okay. If we consider the performance of central region to be 100%, then 26% of the sales is because of the coffee products being sold. 25% of the sales is from herbal tea, another 25% from tea, and 22% is from espresso. Okay, that is what it is telling. If you look at South region, we are just looking at the performance of individual regions which are arranged as columns. So if I consider the overall sales of South region to be 100%, then how much of it is coming from the sales of which product? 43% of the sales from South is from espresso, 32 is from coffee, and 24 is from herbal tea. Just nothing from tea because we are not selling anything related to that. Okay, I hope you all understood. So this is when we go at column level. Okay, now I'm going to again right click and change this to row total. So when I change it to row total, what happens? It is going to work with data present in each row separately. It works row wise, meaning it's going like this. This is the amount of data that Excel is taking into consideration and computing the percentages. Okay, of whatever was the total sales of coffee, 31% of the sales happened in Central. 26% of that sales happened in East. Just about 15% of the total sales happened in South and another 26 in West. Whatever is the total sales, you can see the split up across different regions. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and change that to percent of grand total. Now in this case, what will happen? It is going to show us the contribution of each and every cell towards the overall sales made by the business. If I consider this as my 100%, the total sales of the business, how much of it is coming from, let's say, espresso in South? 5.9% of the total sales is from espresso in the South region. So contribution of each and every individual cell towards the overall value. So if this is the overall sales, then how much of it is from East? 32%. How much of it is from South? Only 12% of the overall sales is happening in South. And which product type is selling the most? Espresso, 27.2%. Which one is selling the least? Tea, 21.07%. I hope it is clear to all of you. So computing the percentages column wise, computing the percentages row wise, or taking the entire data and then computing the percentage. 3 different aspects. Depends on what is the question that you're trying to answer. Okay. If you have to see the performance of the products under each region, you have to go by column. If you have to look at the performance of a product across regions, you have to go by row. If you want to see the overall performance and contribution of each member towards the total, you have to go at the entire table level. All right. Now let's change this. Instead of showing the percent, I think is pretty simple. I hope you all understood. There are many other options that we have. A few other calculations also are there. Let me go here to more options and show you. Show data as. So percent of total, grand total, row total, that is one thing. We can also give a rank. Smallest to largest and largest to smallest. So if I say smallest to largest. Okay, now you can see, one moment. I think it was having percentages, so it's not working. Let's do one thing, delete everything. And bring back sales over here. Okay, these are the values that we are working with. And I am not interested in showing any totals. So I will go to the design ribbon and off everything. Okay, so this is my data. Now, let's go to more options. Will it work when data is like this? Okay, I think we need a different format of data. I will demonstrate it with a different format of data, but let's just go and look at other calculations now. So the other calculations that we have, we can also get the difference. Okay, we saw percentages. Now let's look at the difference. Difference from. So when I say I want to get the difference with respect to these product types, I want to get it. Base item you have to give. So I want to, let's say, check how the remaining products are performing with respect to coffee. The difference with respect to coffee. Okay, then what will happen? Let's see. So coffee was my base item. There is nothing to compare coffee against. We are not comparing coffee against anything. But compared to coffee, how are the other items performing? So we can see this is not selling as much as coffee. It is down by so and so value. Okay, none of these meet up the sales of coffee. None of these meet up the sales of coffee. But in South, espresso is selling better than coffee. By how much? 11,731. Espresso is selling better than coffee by 11,731. In West also the same thing. In fact, West, all of them are selling better than coffee. Whatever was the sales here, right? Let me show you actual sales also, then it will be clear. I'm going to bring in sales again into this box. And let's bring the values, sales values down here. So they'll come as rows. So this sum of sales is the actual sales. No, this is the difference in sales, right? Yeah, this is the difference in sales. And this sum of sales here is the actual sales. Now we are comparing the actual sales of the remaining products like espresso, herbal tea, and tea with the actual sales of coffee. Now, if you look here, this is the sales of coffee in West region. But what about the sales of espresso there? It is greater than coffee by 12,000 and 120,000 almost. Sales of herbal tea is better than coffee by so and so number. Sales of tea is better than coffee by so and so, 143.72. Okay, difference in sales. So where are we doing better? Which of the products are doing better than coffee? Which of the products are not doing as good as coffee is what we are able to understand. All right. Now let's change that. I will go to more options, and the difference in sales that I applied, I'm going to apply it at region level. Okay, not product type, but by territory. I want to compare the sales of all the regions against the sales of central. Suppose I choose central, then it's going to show me column wise. So you can see this has gone blank over here. And if this is the sales of central region, how much is east, south, and west doing with respect to that? So you can see none of these regions have sales as good as central. They are falling short. They are behind central by so and so figures. In west region, you can notice the sales of west for espresso is better than that of coffee, isn't it? Because we see a positive number. So here also west is doing better than central for one product, and here also west is doing better than central. Other regions are not as good as central. So basically it would depend on the business requirement. What scenario is given to you? What exactly are you trying to achieve? Based on that, you can change the setting. So if I go to difference in sales, let's say I want to do it with respect to the previous value. Okay, so it's going to compare each region against the previous region in the table. So this is compared with this. So what is happening here? This minus this, we have the value. This minus the previous, we have the value. This minus the previous, and we have the value. So when you have to get quarter over quarter difference in sales or year over year, this kind of an option would be very, very helpful. Here I'm showing you with regions and products, but you repeat the same thing with years and quarters. Okay. Let me do that. Otherwise, I'll do that. So for different products, let's say I'm looking at the data for different years. Okay. Where is that? I need the year and I need the quarter. This is the representation I would like, year and quarter. So you can see this is 2012, and let's not show any totals here. So I'll go back to design and turn off subtotals also. All right. So quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. All right. Now let's populate some data in this. Let's say profit across different quarters. The profit is what we are seeing. Now quarter over quarter difference, QOQ. Quarter over quarter difference, if you might want, what will you do? You have to apply the difference formula. Go to more options, and data as I need to compute the difference. I can even show the difference as percentage. So from one quarter to another quarter, how much has been the growth? Or you're getting right? Year over year growth kind of a thing. Here we are seeing quarter over quarter growth. So I'll say difference from this compared to the prior value. So compared to the previous value. Okay. Now you can see percentage is computed. So within 2012, compared to quarter 1, how are quarter 2? How is quarter 2 doing? And compared to quarter 2, how is quarter 3 doing? Compared to quarter 3, how is quarter 4 doing? Then within 2013, compared to quarter 1, there is nothing to compare this against, right? So how is quarter 2 doing with respect to quarter 2? So we see a 4% growth here. We see a decline by 1.84% here. Let me show you the actual profit also. And yeah, so you can see the actual profit, and you can see the percentage improvement in the profit, whether it is positive or negative. So from here, if the profit increased, by what percent did profit increase? Quarter 1 to quarter 2, the business saw an improvement in the profit by almost 12%. Quarter 2 to quarter 3, again it saw an improvement of 8%. Then quarter 3 to quarter 4, the last quarter, the profit went down. The profit reduced by 17.32%. Okay, so when you have to do quarter over quarter, year over year, these kind of things come in handy. Again, you have to be careful what you're referencing. Okay. So another thing that we can get here is we can get the running total. We can get the running total. Let me do one thing. Let's just expand and get the running total. So what is running total? It is the cumulative or the collective total. Like let's say I have certain values. Okay. And this is the actual values. These are the actual values. Now, if I say I want the running total, it is going to be the cumulative. Here it will be 1. Here it will be summation of these two numbers, 1 plus 2, 3. Here, summation of these three numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3, okay, making it 6. Then 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, making it 10. Here, it will be summation of all of these numbers, making it 15. Here, it will be summation of all of these numbers, making it 21. Here, summation of all these numbers, making it 28. So why do we need such a thing? Imagine this is the COVID cases count. Okay, number of cases in each month. The number of cases in Jan, number of cases in Feb, number of cases in March, April, so on and so forth. All right, now, this is the cumulative cases. So one case was recorded in the month of Jan. 2 cases were recorded in Feb. But what is the total number of cases by the end of February? 3. The number of cases recorded in June is 6. But what is the overall total number of cases from the day the first case was registered until the end of June? The cumulative total, 21. So this is the cumulative total. So whenever you have to work with cumulative total, you can use the running total inbuilt calculation which is available. I hope you all understood the significance of a cumulative total. It gives you an idea about the overall value. So during the COVID season, when it was in peak, what happened? Every day in the news, we used to hear this, right? That total number of new cases recorded today and the overall case count till date. So the big scary number was the overall case count, right? From the day when the first case was recorded until that point in time, whatever is the total case count is also something that they presented to us in the news every day. We had information about the number of cases registered on a particular day and total number of cases. Thereby, the overall case count has increased to so and so value. So that is the cumulative count. Here you can see what is the actual profit in quarter 1, actual profit in quarter 2, actual profit in quarter 3. And these numbers are the cumulative profit. So Q1 and Q2 collectively gave the business a profit of around 15,000. Q1, Q2, Q3 collectively gave a profit of this value. And with Q4's contribution coming into picture, it increased further. That's it. This is for this year, 2012, whatever I have data for. Now for 2013 data, if you take, this is quarter 1, which remains the way it is. This is the profit from quarter 2. So collectively, both of them have given a profit of this much. Then another figure has come. Collectively, the profit has further increased. And by the end of quarter 4, from the beginning of 2013 till the end of quarter 4, the overall profit is this much. Okay, like that, for features like running total, for features like computing the percentages, you don't have to, or getting the difference, percent difference. Okay, you don't have to sit and write any formula because these are already pre-written here in Excel. All you need to do is call them. All you need to use is go ahead and select it. And Excel will automatically apply the formula on your data and give you the output. Okay, so we have focused on calculations and the inbuilt calculations. I hope whatever we discussed today was clear.